Hey, I'm on the phone with Vital Statistics in British Columbia here. I'm just waiting for them to come online, so I wanted to ask a question. I hope everybody's doing well today. So if you have any questions for Vital Statistics, what I'm wanting to know is who has claimed ownership of British Columbia, like the Corporation of British Columbia, and how we get registered as a Canadian citizen. Because it's not of my, I've come to realize it's of no benefit to me to be registered as a Canadian citizen, because then I'm under somebody else's rules and regulations. And we're not actually told when we're born, when our parents aren't really told when we're registered, that we become subject to all the taxation and corporate policies that somebody else chooses for us. So I'm wanting to see how I can become invisible to them so that I'm not under their jurisdiction.
Hi, thanks for holding.
Hey.
So as I mentioned, the Vital Statistics Agency wouldn't be able to help, but perhaps the BC Business Registry would. So I have a toll-free number for them.
Okay.
With 10 handy.
Yep.
So it's 1-877 526
Yep.
1526.
Okay. And well, as a once we're registered in whatever province we're born into, we're registered as a Canadian citizen. What my concern is, I'd like to be able to unregister myself as a Canadian citizen, and I need the steps as to how to do that, because it's not of benefit to me to be registered as a Canadian citizen.
Are you registering in another country?
No, I'm not registering in a country at all. I want to be free from this, the systems that have been put into place, because it's not of benefit when I come into this realm to be registered in this in the system that's being controlled by people that don't have my best interest at heart. Because I realized because I went into the United States, because that's where my husband was born, and then when I came back, I was actually arrested and put into one of these COVID quarantine isolation camps, and somebody attempted to decontaminate me by coming into my room with hazmat suits on, and I would like to know how I can prevent that from ever happening again. And the only way that I can think of is to be no longer in that system. And so I want to find out what gave them the authority to be able to do that to me, to my body in the first place. And it has something to do with our registration and the creation of the birth certificate. Because if I didn't have that and the legal name on the birth certificate, then they wouldn't have that. So what I'm wanting to do is to be unregister, to give back the certification.
I understand what you're asking. I don't know. I don't believe there's a way to unregister a birth once it's occurred.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just wondering. I mean.
Well, I don't sure we can. Oh, yeah. So I don't mind I don't mind being registered, but with the birth. But what I'm wanting to do is to be rid of the certificate. Oh, and I want to understand fully, to have full faith and credit of that certificate, because somehow the system is being driven through the certificate itself. Because what I've realized with this being arrested, and that the police actually write a bond on the certificate, that legal entity that's been created, and somehow they're getting paid. They're getting paid through that, right? And I don't want to be privy or to be part of that system any longer,
Okay.
because
So
it's
would I be able to get your name and number, and I can maybe have
okay.
someone else
Yeah.
be able to help?
Okay, so my name's Lorna Lynn, LORNALYNN, and my phone number is 250-809-1703.
1703.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida Lynn, is that 2 words?
Lorna Lynn. Lorna Lynn.
Oh, okay, I see. And your last name?
I don't have a last name, and that's part of the whole system. I have a family lineage. And that's another thing, is how did that ever come about? Like, why are we registered with a last name? Why do we have when our name is actually just the name that our parents give us? But when we're given this legal name or legal entity, then they put our fathers. What really? Why isn't my mother's? Why don't we have our mother's last name? Our mother's family lineage.
To put any name, it would have been up to your parents to decide what your last name would be. It doesn't have to be one of your parents.
Yeah, but I want to be free of that. The idea that we even have a last name, because we don't have a last name. We only have a first name, and that's me. They call me Lorna, right? They called me Lorna. I'm not, and we don't have a last name. Have you ever noticed that these people that claim to have title, like Prince Philip or Prince Andrew, they don't have a last name? They come from a house of, or are they registered with the last name? No, they aren't, right? And so that's what this whole system that we're forced into is not conducive of the truth. No, but so what I'm wanting to ask is, well, apparently that who signs our passport, that we actually need a document, an instrument to be able to be taxed on our traveling. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is why is it that?
I understand what you're saying. I don't think I can help with it though.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll pass your name and phone number on to a manager.
Okay.
And hopefully they may be able to help you.
That would be great.
I really don't know what we can do, but
okay.
But I'll pass it on. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Sure. Bye.
So hopefully they'll phone me back, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to record this or not, but yeah, I'm going to keep digging, because I really don't think that somebody should have the ability to just arrest us when we haven't committed a crime. And I don't want to hold any liability to what's actually transpiring on Earth, because they're able to murder people and poison the Earth, and implement policies and procedures that aren't really conducive to well-being, to a life well lived. So that's where I'm going with all of this today, and I'm just going to keep going until I find remedy fully and completely, so that I'm no longer subject to the borders that have been put into place, and whoever gave themselves authority, because the Earth wasn't created with borders. We aren't created with a legal entity name. The whole entire system is, when do we actually come to be able to experience life the way we actually intended it for ourselves, without being dictated to? And I would not want anyone to be able to be taken from their home, arrested for a crime they didn't commit, and subjected and decontaminated. They actually tried to, they wanted to come into my room with hazmat suits.
No crime even happens.
No.
There was
Well,
no crime.
our crime is being born into the system and registered as a legal entity. And the court, because everything is about profit, right, is about commerce, commercial instruments.
Yeah.
And I choose not to be a human commodity anymore. I don't want to be registered as a human commodity. And I don't want my children to be registered as a human commodity. And now, it took me 61 years to be able to see the system. And I would just want to see who is it that authorized this system, this, and what I would prefer is for people to actually take responsibility to what they're actually driving in this world. Like, at some point we have to say, become honest with ourselves and no longer participate, because we're caught up in this whole system that's been developed over many incarnations. And I don't want to hold any liability, and I want to be able to go to sleep at night and put my head to the pillow knowing that I did everything in my integrity, because as a non-violent, non-combative, non-commercial being, that I just would like to experience life to the fullest as an expression, as a human being, and that's where. So, thank you for joining me. It's been good to see this, and let's just keep plugging along to see how we can resolve this conundrum that we've allowed to transpire over so many incarnations. Wherever we bought into this idea that somebody can hold title and people not, that other people are subjects, and it's up to each of us to be honest with ourselves. And how do we do this and not create any more misery or pain for other people, in doing a job that is because as long as we're doing the job, we're a cog in the wheel, keeping this whole system moving forward. So, thanks for listening. Have a good day.